Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Good. And we're back for another episode this week. And we got a special interview on tap.
Yeah, so we were able to chat with Union 2 goalkeeper Mike Sheridan, and we had a really great interview with him that we are excited to share with you all.
Yeah. So we talk a little bit about him growing up, a little bit about some of his experiences. In fact, we talk a lot about experiences in this one with him. We also talk about kind of this season moving forward into the future. So, really great episode.
Yeah, so I look forward to everyone getting listen and getting to know Mike more because he's been really good backup with Union 2 and just keeps getting better and better, I think.
Yeah. So, without further ado, here's our interview with Mike Sheridan.
Enjoy. All right. So we're really happy to have Union 2 goalkeeper Mike Sheridan on with us today. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well, thanks.
Doing well, doing well.
All right.
So, Mike, growing up, for you personally, was it always soccer or did you play other sports? And how did you end up in soccer? And what was your youth experience into club level like?
So, yeah, like I was always a super active kid. Like even when I was a baby, I always had to have a ball around somewhere. So it didn't really matter what kind of ball at the time. Um, but my two biggest sports growing up were soccer and then baseball. I did swimming for a little bit. I played basketball. I was terrible at basketball. I'm still terrible at basketball. So I just was done with that. Um, I played roller hockey a bit, but it was always like soccer and baseball were kind of my things. And then in high school, baseball kind of wasn't really working out. Like socially, I wasn't really close with any of the guys on the team, and I wanted to put my full focus into soccer because that was what I was passionate about. And yeah, I mean, I played for my local club, Ridley United, and then that kind of didn't. Ridley's not a big soccer town, so a lot of the kids were getting out of soccer, and the team was kind of falling apart. So I went over to Rose Tree in media, and then I was there for a couple of years, and ended up going to 1776 in Nether Providence. So
And that's interesting that you mentioned that you swam too, because we're both swim coaches. We were
Oh,
competitive swimmers. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I was
So, yeah,
decent for an 8 year old. I was really, I was decent for an 8 year old.
yeah. What was your stroke?
I think freestyle was probably my best, but breaststroke I was decent at. I could not do the butterfly, but everything else I was like always pretty good at.
I was
Like
gonna,
for my obviously 8 years old.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think for 8 years old and working now,
yeah.
for me personally, working with the younger kids, I mean, butterfly's the hardest one to get.
Yeah, that's
So,
what well, apparently Frankie was a butterflyer.
so yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he swam a bit too. So we
Wow.
yeah, you guys can have a race sometime. Um,
For not doing the butterfly, I can't lose.
yeah.
Right.
So so you attended Ridley High School, which if correct me if I'm wrong, you struggled to find playing time. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you went to St. Joseph's College in Maine, you found yourself on the reserve team. So how did those experiences shape you when you look back on them today?
I think they've, helped me like a lot. Like it's interesting. Like I always kind of have a joke with like my family. I've kind of just been like I was on the bench in high school, I was on the bench in college, and then I was on the bench at Nova. And now, like I just been moving up on the benches. And when I do get I think it's weird. It's always it sucks. Like no one wants to be on the bench. Like I
Mhm.
wanted
Hmm.
to be on the bench in high school. I didn't want to be in the bench in college. Like I wanted to be playing, but I think getting through those moments and always like believing in myself, like knowing like I shouldn't be on the bench here, like knowing that I'm good enough to do more than this. And I know that I'm good enough to do more than this. I think as I always knew it. And at this point, I've continued to prove that to myself that it, I don't, I think I can do more. Like I always think I can push on and do more. So I think those experiences have taught me a lot of dealing with difficult times in sports and in life in general. Just keep plugging away and then things eventually work out. So I think as hard as it is and as difficult and annoying as it is in the moment, like all those real struggles and difficulties of trying to get on the field have really shaped me into kind of who I am now.
Yeah, but then during your time at St. Joseph's College, you were, named all conference and correct me if I'm wrong, goalkeeper of the year. So just going back to that, like going from, on the bench to then having success, what was that like for you during that time?
It was like super emotional. Like I, in high school, I always like I thought I was a very good player.
Hmm.
Ridley didn't care about soccer, so it didn't really matter. Like I never got any recognition for being a good player, and I really wasn't playing that much. Like I had to play in the field, so it was like, am I a good player? And that like I always knew that I always backed myself. You know, I always backed myself. So then to finally like break into the team senior year, to finally be the consistent starter and to get conference goalie of the year is like another moment where I really proved it to myself. It's like, yeah, I knew I could do that. Um, so it was really emotional when I finally got that GNAC goalie of the year. Like we lost in the semifinal, and my coach came into the locker room, and obviously the season's over, and I took off the jersey for the last time, but he told me that I got conference goalie of the year, and it was like it was a weird moment because obviously like the season was over, and it's like I didn't want the season to be over, but I don't know. As the time went on, as I was able to decompress, like I was really proud of myself for that moment.
And then what ultimately made you head to Villanova? Were you looking at other schools, or was it just more of a, I want to head back closer to home?
Yeah, it was. Well, I was planning on going back to St. Joe's for my fifth year, so I had one
Hmm.
more year of eligibility because of
Okay.
the season. So I was planning on heading back there, and I came home for summer ball. Like I had talked to my coach, and he had a really good relationship. We had a good relationship. He had obviously seen my growth over the last 4 years. He knew I was ambitious. I told him I always wanted to play D1, and he was like, "Ah, you should stay." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll see what happens." And I ended up having like an opportunity at some team in Scotland. It was St. Andrews or something for the soccer team, but I didn't end up getting into the school. So I was like, all right, I'll stay. I'll stay at St. Joe's for this year. And then summertime came around, and I was playing on a team with like almost all D1 guys, and that was like a kind of a realization, like, oh wait, everybody I'm around is a Division 1 player. Like I could probably do that as well. So I started talking with Rider University about potentially going there, and then my summer coach just randomly called me one day, and he's like, "Hey, Villanova called me and said they need a goalkeeper, and I mentioned your name." And then from there, they kind of got out and saw me a couple of times, and that was that. Worked out that I got to come back close to home, which was nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Um, so let's talk about summer ball for a second. You know, playing with Westchester United. What were some of your favorite memories from the squads? Obviously, when you were there, those teams had some very good success, but what would you say how those experiences benefited you where you are currently now?
Westchester, it was just a grind. Like it was, you would show up to training, and it was a grind. Like I would like I would work all day. It would be the summer, so I would work for my brother doing like floors all day, hardwood flooring. So that was a lot on my body already. Then I would like go to the gym, get a little lift in, then go to Westchester training, which wouldn't start until like 9 p.m. sometimes, and then wake up and do it all again the next day. And I kind of just fell in love with that. I was like, this is like a lot of work, but this is what it takes. This is what I love. And you get to Westchester, and no one cares if you're tired from work or your lift, whatever. You're gonna run, you're gonna work, you're gonna work, you're gonna keep running, you're gonna keep doing this. And then you get home super late, and then I got to go to work the next day, and everyone at work didn't really care that I had to train late at night. So I was like, all right, this is my choice. I chose to do this. Like it was just a grind. Like, and you're around surrounded by a bunch of guys who are also working hard, and it was just a really good environment. Also being pushed against better players, like it was such a good environment to develop. Westchester, I owe a lot of credit to Westchester and Blaze. It's a massive help, that club. I love it there. I got nothing but good things to say about Westchester.
Yeah, and for like people that don't understand that level of soccer, I mean, it is a grind, and you just kind of explained it there. But like, do you have a particular favorite memory from those teams?
Yeah, 100%. It was like it was the summer, my last summer playing for Westchester. So I was on the NPSL team. And actually, the way the season started, Blaze had already committed to all the USL2 keepers, all the NPSL keepers, and I was on a U23. I wasn't on a squad to start the summer, which is, story of my career so far, starting at the very bottom. But, I was still training with the USL2 and the NPSL. Um, so then by the time playoffs rolled around, I had played one game total. It was like a first half of one game and a second half of another game. So I played one game total all summer. And all of a sudden, playoffs roll around, and Blaze told me that I was going to be the guy for playoffs. They wanted me to play for playoffs. So I was like, oh, all right, fine by me. I'm ready to go. Um, And so we had a couple. We won a couple of trophies, and the best one was when we went to Motown at Motown in the, I believe it was the regional final, which ended up bringing us to the national semifinal. And just winning a trophy at Motown, I did not like that team. Like I really did not like that team, and we really handed it to them at their place, and we weren't expected to win, and we dominated the game, and I was really happy with my performance. Like I kind of did some things that I didn't think I was capable of doing that game. Like I really showed myself some cool things that game. And then just after that game, me and probably like half the team, like all like booked some random hotel room in New York City and ended up going out right out there. So that was a phenomenal time.
Oh, that does sound like a great time. Oh, what a memory.
Yeah.
Now, when you got the news that Union 2 was interested in you, what did that mean to you, and what was that process like? Yeah.
So it was Blaze again. Like Blaze called me and we were talking throughout the Villanova season. And like I wasn't getting time for Villanova either. And it was another situation where I was like, I feel like I should be getting time. Like I feel like I deserve more here. Like, and so we had continued to talk throughout the season, and he was like, "All right, whatever." He told me one day, he's like, "I'm going to send you down to Union for a couple of days with the second team. You have like a 3 day trial." I was like, "All right, amazing," and it was great. Like it was for me. Like I mean, I've been a Union fan for since the club was established. Like I'm from,
Hmm.
like I've been a Union fan. So the first day we were in there, and we're like in the first team locker room, like the game day locker room. Like I'm wearing the Union gear. I'm like looking around. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like after the training session, just walking back to the stadium, I'm like, how many times have I been here? And now it was just it was unreal. Like it was something that I never expected. Like going from a Division 3 reserve team player, not getting on the bench, not getting on the field in high school at a not good soccer school, like to be there was just so unexpected, and it was really like it's hard to put into words. It meant a lot. It really meant a lot.
Yeah, that's got to be just really surreal, getting to have that experience being at the team you grew up as a fan of. And man, and to you personally, what were your three biggest moments from last year's MLS Next Pro season?
Like my favorite moments, or
Yeah, like what were
Yeah.
your top moments?
so, on a team level, obviously, like winning the Eastern Conference final at home was awesome. Like the team worked so hard all year. Like I was super proud of all the guys. Like, and we killed Columbus. So it was like a really dominating performance. Like that, like you don't get trophies don't come around often, and it was my
Hmm.
first season. We won one, and it feels great. But you can't take it for granted. I think that's such an amazing moment for that group, and just helped us be a little bit even closer this year because we all kind of went through that. Um, and then for me personally, like I had a game against Chicago,
Hmm.
their second team. I don't know. I like it was the game of my career. Like I had like four one-on-one saves, and my distribution was like perfect. And my like I was it was like one of my best performances of all time, and that was like kind of me showing everybody like this is what I can do. Like if it comes down to it and I need to perform, like I'm going to show you that I can perform. So I think that Chicago game, and it was also one of our biggest crowds to date, which it's
Hmm.
not easy for the Union 2 games, but it was still like the biggest crowd that I had ever played in.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
and that game was also after Kyle Tucker's dad had passed away. So
Right.
Hmm.
wearing the Roger Tucker like armband, like because I knew Roger, he was a coach at Westchester as well. So that game just meant a lot to me. I was really proud of myself and happy that I could give Tuck and his family like some positives from that. Um, and then my last biggest moment, whew, I guess those are the big two that kind of stand out. I guess just like traveling and playing soccer, like that was what I wanted to do. Like when it got to it, and I was like, when I first got that first taste of traveling a bit and playing soccer, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I was able to make that happen and just see a ton of new cities and things that I wouldn't have gotten to do if I didn't get to this point. So I think just traveling, being with the guys, and seeing new places was really,
Yeah, that season was really special. It was great to see just all that success, and you guys all seem to have such a good dynamic, which of course is going to be a huge part of the success. I know Marlon talked about that too, and so definitely an incredible season.
It really, really was. And now transitioning to current season, you got to spend some time in Spain with the first team.
yeah.
Can you talk about what that experience was like for you? When did you find out? And just kind of walk us through some of your favorite memories, any bits of advice you got during that time?
Yeah. So there was kind of like lingering things where it's like you might have to go to Spain with with the first team, and it's like yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to believe it till it happens, but then it was like it kept kind of happening where it's like it doesn't look like they're getting anybody else in. It looks like you're going to be going, and I was working with my brother again at the time, and I told my brother I kind of wanted to stop working and really just focus on being as ready as I could for that. Because obviously I mean, it's it's the first team preseason. Like I gotta I gotta do well. So then probably a week or two. It was like a week or two before, and it still wasn't. We still weren't sure. And then it was like 3 days before, and it was like, all right, we'll know tomorrow. And it's like, oh, can we just let me know, please? Like, and then I got the text from Phil Wedden, the first team goalie coach, that I was going, and it was a wild moment. Like I had been training with the first team a bit last season, so it wasn't as shocking as like my first couple times in with the first team, which was a whole nother story. But I mean, it was again just traveling and playing soccer, seeing somewhere that I never would have ever gotten to see. Brand new coach, brand new whole staff. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain even. I mean, it was a crazy trip, like so surreal. Um, just little bits like I don't. I mean, just like my balcony, like it was like overlooking a golf course, and it was the sunset every night. Just like the room was
Mm,
perfect. I was really happy with how I played. I got really close with a lot of the guys. Like there was like a sauna and a cold tub there, so like we would always like
mhm.
we'd end up like running into like guys that I've been watching on TV for 10 years in the sauna, and they're like saying good things to me. It's like wow, okay. It was crazy. I mean, it was really real. It was like I'm like this is really happening. Like things are going really well. Like it, I don't know. I really don't think the trip could have gone any better for me. So I was really happy with it, and I just got home, and it was just got to spend time with my family and tell them all the stories about the guys that we've been watching on TV for however long. It's like now I know them personally. It's like guess what he did? Get like these guys. Like it was just it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it sounds like an incredible trip.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, what a nice location too. Um, and working with Ross Kane and Phil Wedden, in what ways have they helped you develop your game?
Those guys are amazing. Like I said, Ross and Phil are the best goalie coaches I've ever had. Like the difference that of me when I first signed versus me by the end of the season, like Ross Ross did a lot. Like Ross really helped me as a goalkeeper, like as a person and as a goalkeeper, like dealing with some of the stuff I was dealing with, and also just the little things in training, like your positioning, you could be a little bit here, right here, and this, like it's just constant little adjustments. Like Ross and Phil really care and they really know a lot about goalkeeping. So to be able to learn from those guys is
Mhm.
I got to soak up every single second of it because I mean they're experts. I mean, in my opinion, it's good.
Yeah, and got a couple more questions here, but we're wrapping up. New Union 2 head coach Ryan Richter, how has he helped you? And talk to us about how he is as a coach and leader.
Yeah, so I haven't been with the second team a ton for
Hmm.
training, um, so there hasn't been too much. But just even like last year, I'd be with him in the first team sessions, and he would run the sessions. And he's very different from Marlon. Like he's a bit more laid back, and he's a bit more calm. But I think the sessions are still ran really well. Like it is almost like a sense of like freedom and enjoyment, where you're free to you're free to make mistakes, and you're allowed to like mess up, and we just go again and we get on with it. And I think it's really helped the environment and training this year. Just having a bit more freedom, I'd say. Like guys are playing better. Guys are taking risks. Like guys are doing things that maybe last year was just a little bit different. And not obviously last year worked out really well for us. So it's not like a knock on anybody, but his sessions are just much different. Like it's a whole different thing and it's a new experience. And there's always things you can take from everybody. So I mean, like I haven't spent a ton of time down there so far, so nothing really stands out yet. But I mean, just as a person, he's an awesome guy, and he's just great to be around, and everybody respects him, and everybody likes him, and he kind of treats you the same way.
Yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing how, this season continues for sure. I mean, I've got to talk to Ryan, a bit here so far and
Yeah.
um and wrapping this up, who's influenced you the most growing up to this point?
Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably say I'd say like from a soccer point of view, my dad was always kind of like the guy that I looked at like, I got to reach what he did. I got to be able to do what he did. And he played professionally in the 80s for the Philadelphia Fever. Not sure if you guys know, is an indoor
Hmm.
team. Uh,
Hmm.
Hmm.
but so it was always like, there were times where it was like, I might not reach my dad's level. Like, that's not like, I got to, it was just something to push me. It's like, I got to be able to do what he did. Like it was in me. But I think like from a work ethic and discipline and really like got me to grind, I'd say like my brother like did a lot. Like working for my brother was hard work, like really hard work. And it was a lot of lessons. It was every day was a new lesson. It was every day waking up tired, going into work regardless. It doesn't really matter if you're tired. No one cares. So it was, I think, working with him, he's so hard on me and he's so hard on me. And sometimes I for it, but like he's my half brother. So he's like 40 and he has his own flooring business.
Mm.
Um, but now like our relationship's amazing now. But I really do think like that work ethic and that discipline, if I never worked for my brother, I wouldn't be where I am now.
And final question, first, what are your goals personally for you this year? And then looking ahead, what are your future plans? Do you plan on sticking in soccer, maybe coaching, or just kind of what are your future goals out once you get done playing?
Yeah. So I mean, so for me, the goal always remains just to be as good of a goalkeeper as I can be.
Mhm.
Let that take me where it takes it, take me where it takes me. I don't even know, whatever. But my goal is just
Hmm.
to be as good as I can be. I had the same goal when I was a reserve team player at St. Joe's, Maine. I have the same goal now to be as good as I can be and see where it takes me. Say short term, like this year, obviously, I want something to happen. Like I want to get games. I want to be. It's a complicated situation with goalkeepers and the contract situations and all that. So I get like the goal remains just to be as good as I can this year, and whenever an opportunity comes my way, like I'll be ready. Um, I'd say, but for down the line, I definitely do want to get into coaching. Like even right now, I'm coaching at Widener University. Do you guys know
Mm.
Widener?
There.
I
Yeah.
started my college coaching career there when I was at Westchester as a volunteer assistant.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I'm
Yes.
I'm the goalie coach for the men's now. And I love it. Like I love working with those guys, and it's cool. It's a cool relationship because we're so close in age.
Mm.
But like
Hmm.
respect me and they appreciate me, and I feel the same about them. So coaching is definitely something I'm interested down the line. But for now, playing as long as I can play.
Well, awesome. And as coaches ourselves, it's definitely very rewarding. And I'm sure you're getting a good taste of that. So that's wonderful to hear. So again, thank you, Mike, so much for chatting
Yeah,
with
this has
us.
been wonderful.
Yeah, and continued success this season. And for the people listening, where can they follow you at on socials?
Little shout out. It's just Mike underscore Sheridan with two N's on my Instagram.
All right,
All right.
great.
Well, thank you again so much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you
Yes.
guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yep. Continued success. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, and there was our interview with Mike Sheridan. What'd you think?
I thought it was a great conversation. It was really interesting to hear how he persevered coming up through it
Hmm.
because, to be limited in playing time or, just having to grind through that. And I think it really makes you humble, but, that's some hard work, some perseverance, definitely to be admired. And, he's seeing this, success at Union 2 level and getting to play for his hometown team, which is just fantastic. That's got to be a dream.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Also, his influences being his father and his brother, how
Hmm.
much, he talks about that. And then also his time with Westchester United about those memories. So, really just wonderful, wonderful interview. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a comment, let us know what your favorite moment was. But before we get out of here, where can people find us at?
So you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We are also on socials at Twitter and Blue Sky at the one team we at TOTWAG. We're on Facebook and Instagram at the one team we agree on. We also have our YouTube channel, the one team we agree on. Our website, the one team we agree on.com. You can find us individually. I'm on Twitter and on Instagram at silly double underscore Jilly. I'm also on Blue Sky at Jillian Almany. And you are at Coach Almany on all of those.
And until next time, I'm Kyle,
I'm Jillian.
and we'll see you at the game.